That was pretty good numbers. I mean, beating EPS and beating revenue. Yeah, an ape up to 206. Alright guys, 722 for AMC, so it's fighting back here. I think he's starting to break the highs up there. $722s. Alright guys, we got the actual earnings call at 5 p.m. in about 30 minutes for the earnings call. It's starting to creep up again at 720s. Not the biggest move for AMC, but I'm surprised it's not a larger move than this. We're up to 723s right now. And it might just be like, again, if you look at a 20-day chart for AMC, it's still very green over the last 20 days here. So again, 20 days ago it was at roughly $5, so it's up like 50% relative to then. At 730s now, starting to creep up a little bit more, finally, here. So AMC starting to test the top of the after-hours trend. Let's see if that continues here. Starting to move a little bit. I don't know why the SPY tanked. Nothing really big that should influence the market, to be honest. Feels like every time AMC rallies big, they'll dilute. I don't think they're going to dilute again. They're not going to do another secondary offering, I would think. Again, if they did...
All right, what is up, guys? I'm working out the kinks on the stream right now. I'm stream sniping this dude. Don't hate me for it. I'm looking for the AMC earnings call because I'm not sure where I found it last time, but it comes out at 5 o'clock. So we had dumpage on AMC. Pretty much what I predicted would happen. I definitely said in my video, pull back. RSI needs to cool down on the higher time frames, on the 4 hour, on the daily time frame, and that's exactly what we got. And to me, this is extremely bullish because we bounced off of these lows. We bounced off previous resistance. As you guys can see, $6.80 was so extreme resistance before, and now it's acting as perfect support. And AMC is bouncing up a little bit. That the numbers did come out and they did beat on shares per earning. So it is looking positive right now. And then we have the actual earnings call coming out here soon. Let me see if I can look it up real quick and see if we can get any information. I think the numbers did come out for Q4. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm still not seeing any numbers for Q4, but this guy's reporting that the numbers came out. Let me see if I can pop on Twitter here. See what else information I can get. I do apologize, guys. What do you mean bad earnings? Earnings is 5 o'clock. Someone came out and said the numbers were bad, and then a report came out right after that with good numbers. I think the numbers are good. It's Flower Child. Followed by Meek Mill. That's funny. I'm very proud to announce the ready to eat microwave popcorn, AMC Perfectly Popcorn, to launch in March and April in more than 2,600 US Walmart stores. So this is really big, guys. So we definitely have additional revenue coming in from this. Damn, that was loud. I think the numbers are good. I think the numbers are good. I'm sorry I don't have the actual numbers up here for you guys to see. Let me stream snipe this guy. Don't hate me for it.
200 million, they're still probably going to go up from that earnings report, you know. And so it's not about how
Let
much
me
they
stream
lose.
snipe this guy.
It's not about them losing, you know. I mean, we can harp on that, but it's more so about the expectation on numbers. And again, they posted the best profitability, even if it was losing still. They posted the best profitability than they have since 2019.
The numbers are out.
December of 2019 was the last time they posted anything that parallels what they posted today. So that's an optimistic sign. And again, it's as we showed you guys earlier here. As we showed you earlier, that was the better earnings report we've had in a while. If you look at the actual EPS graph here, here's an easy way to look at it. It's trending in a positive light. Like here's their EPS. I don't think this includes today, but trailing here, the last time we had an EPS at this was in December of 2019 right here. And so that's a positive, optimistic sign. Again, are they profitable? No, not yet. But they're trending that way. Yeah, more movies in the first quarter. Yeah, and I think somebody told me this as well last week, which is that AMC pre-pandemic was at like $30 or $40, and it's true. Pre-pandemic, it was at, you know, $20 to $40 a share, right around here, right? So if you look at it, pre-pandemic, it was all here, and so it's reasonable to assume that we might rebound back up there since things are clear and head back up to at least these levels short term. Maybe not. Again, I have no idea what AMC is going to do. I'm not an investment professional. I could be wildly wrong and have no idea what I'm talking about. And a lot of you might agree with that. But
I'm plugged in. Yo, I'm plugged in right now. I'm plugged in, dog. Fully intact in the Matrix right now. Yo, I like the Matrix, though. The Matrix is dope. The steak tastes good, you feel me? The steak tastes good. All right, so we kind of got this doji right now on the 1 hour candle. So that's basically showing me that there's a lot of indecision right now. People aren't really knowing whether to buy or sell. And that is very, very common heading into earnings, as when we get this actual earning call, we will hear what Adam Aaron has to say. We will get the guidance, and then we will be able to know if we are going to moon right now or what's going to happen. This is very, very tense. I'm very, very hyped right now, guys, because nobody knows what's going to happen. But I think I'm standing by my prediction, and I think earnings is going to be a beat. I think we're going to have bullish guidance, and I think it's going to lead us into a rally. So let's see what happens. Hopefully I'm right, but let's see what the charts say. So we got this doji. Let's go ahead and zoom into a smaller time frame so we can see what's going on.
I use previous closing price. Most of the time, though, with
Okay. Stream snipe. Who am I gonna stream snipe? Maybe I should stream snipe Data Zero. That'd be cool. All right, let me play this, guys, real quick. I'm going to set up a little bit more stuff on the stream real quick, get this ready for the earnings call. Then I'm going to do some TA live and see what's going on with the stock.
it did right around 91.15s, 91.20s. Maybe could have gotten a little bit more than that, too. It pushed up a little bit more, but we got out around 91.20s, 91.15s. On Google. Still holding about 75 shares, but we have like 400 and something shares. I'll probably make more. I'm green on the year, I'll put it that way. But we day trade as well. We day trade, we swing trade, and we invest. We do a little bit of everything. Yeah, we day trade at the open every weekday. Yeah, AMC earnings are out. They did better than expected on EPS, better than expected on sales. Still losing EPS. Sales came in noticeably better than expected, though, so that's good.
EPS is a beat. Sales are a beat.
Yeah, I feel you, Sky. It's all good. I understand. Yeah, the Ape coin is from the Bored Ape Yacht Club. It has nothing to do with AMC, the movie theaters. Stock like that we're looking at today.
All right, AMC looking a little dumpy.
Ape coin is Bored Ape. Ape.
AMC looking a little dumpy right now.
In the stock market is special purpose AMC.
Don't fear, guys. This is what we expected.
Shares, basically. So it's just a different thing.
Shout out to my apes.
Yeah, AMC's up and down, up and down. Maybe the earnings report will say something positive. I'm hoping they do, man.
A lot of indecision right now. It's just very volatile. Let me mute this guy. He's annoying me. All right, guys. So remember, support and resistance. We're looking at 680, 690, that region right there. A good strong support, if we can get above it, is going to be $7.24, $7.25, right about that range. And we are looking for a bounce here. What I'm looking at here on the bigger time frames is, this, I hate to say it, this would be a nasty head and shoulders, guys. That'd be a nasty head and shoulders. I do say so myself, and I really don't see any type of falling wedge or bullish reaction here. It really looks like we're just waiting for this earnings call to come out to see which way the stock is going to move. Now, EPS did come out. EPS earnings or shares, estimated shares per earnings, or EPS came out, and that was a beat, and sales were a beat for AMC stock. So those numbers did come out, and then we have the actual earnings call coming out, which I will be streaming. The earnings call is at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, AMC's already out with their numbers here. Here's the numbers for AMC right now.
Here's the
They came in
numbers
at
he's about to
14
show.
cent loss per share, beat the 21-cent loss estimate. Sales of 99 million, beat the
14.
977 million estimate. So, yeah, those are the numbers right there. All right, AMC at 715s right now. Man, I can hear like an echo in this thing. Sorry, I got a studio in here, so I just grabbed whatever this is from my studio. Now I look like Raiden from Mortal Kombat. Any audiobooks or books you recommend? Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas is probably the best trading book there ever made. I mean, books are good and all, and like you can listen to people's experiences, but books aren't going to teach you how to trade. We're past that as a technology. Books are good. I'm not knocking on books, but like you're not going to learn to trade from books. You know, the real way you learn to trade is just conditioning through repetition and experience. Like you just do it over and over and over again until you start picking nuances up and start to really understand how it goes. And then, you know, you kind of condition yourself like Pavlov and the dog to kind of do the right things and do the correct things over and over and over again until it becomes second nature, to where you can protect your account naturally without, you know, worrying about it, and you do the right things. That's kind of what it is. But
All right, all right. We have the earnings call coming out at 5 o'clock. I do apologize for the delay and the lag, guys. Getting everything set up. We have the earnings call coming at 5 o'clock. So basically for TA, what I'm looking at is for that particular bounce after we get the actual earnings call, the actual numbers come out, and we get positive bullish guidance. And we also have AMC Adam Aaron talking about himself that the popcorn is going to be out in other stores like Walmart, 2,600 US Walmart stores. And he has huge confidence that is going to appeal to retail because he obviously knows he has a bunch of apes that are going to go buy this popcorn as soon as it's on the shelves. I know I'm going to go buy a box. I'm going to support AMC. I'm an AMC shareholder, so I'm going to definitely go buy a box. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm sure lots of apes are going to be buying this popcorn, which is extremely bullish to me. And that is just what I'm looking at personally. I'm also looking at the I'm also looking at the improving fundamentals of AMC stock. And guys, remember, no matter where this thing goes, I'm going to be here every single day guiding you guys each and every single day, helping us find a way and figure out where this stock is going to go next. And if you are interested in day trading and stuff like that, maybe making a little bit of extra money, I know some people are against that, but me personally, I like making a little bit of extra money. That way I can buy more MOAS tickets. And AMC is like a day trader's paradise. It's so volatile and so crazy, and there's so many runs, and you don't even have to short. You can literally just long and make a decent amount of money to stack more MOAS tickets. That's just my personal opinion. Looks like we're getting a lot of support here in the $7.25 range. A lot of support. We went all the way down to 680 and got the bounce. Look. People say technical analysis doesn't matter. Look at how perfectly went down to my support and resistance, bounced off of it, and now look where we're meeting resistance. Technical matters. Beat by 33 cents is pretty good, right? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yep. And we got a beat on sales, so that is positive as well. I'm just waiting till 5 o'clock until we get Adam Aaron to speak himself. I'm going to stream snipe this guy or somebody. I do apologize for that. See what you guys got questions in the chat. Needs to convince that AMC is recession proof. I mean, it's an old company. Think about it. It's been around. It's been through recessions. It's seen bad times. AMC has seen bad times and made it through. And now it has like a retail cult following. No, AMC is not going anywhere. The short sellers know that. The short sellers have to know that. I think they're trapped. I think that's the problem. They think they're trapped. Earnings at 5 o'clock. EST. I'm glad that RSI cooled down, definitely for sure. I'm glad RSI cooled down here on the daily and the 4-hour time frame. That's exactly what I wanted to see too. It's still a little overextended on the daily time frame if you look. MACD's really overextended. This pullback was definitely healthy, guys. Like, I know people get upset when we get a large run, but look at the day we had before. It was a 22% run. This pullback was absolutely needed, absolutely healthy. And the fact that we bounced off of previous resistance is extremely bullish in my opinion. 10 minutes to earnings report. Get hype, get hype. What's up, guys? What's up? Get hype. I'm a little nervous, I can't lie, yo. I think it's definitely going to be a beat, but I need a pump. Yeah, we need it to pump. Yo, I'm with you, brother. I'm with you, bro. I want this thing to run as much as everyone else, but I got to be realistic because I cannot just put out on my channel. I cannot erase my credibility and just put out, oh, it's going to squeeze, it's going to squeeze, it's going to squeeze. If I really don't think it's going to squeeze, I'm not saying that in my videos, because if I don't think it's going to squeeze and if a big move doesn't come and my credibility gets erased and people don't, that's the biggest thing to me, is putting out accurate data and maintaining my credibility. All right, let's see if we got anything at all. Stream snipe. Yeah, he's just chilling. We're all waiting on the call. Looks like the Bears and the Bulls are waiting on the call as well. So we're going to see what's happening. Get hype, guys. Look, we got this crazy doji right now. Super indecision right now. Just so much volatility. Crazy doji right now. This thing could go either way. I'm telling you, it's going to pump. Put on some indicators. Super trend. So we still got a buy on the 1 hour time frame. This buy signal, though, has been up all the way since the bottom of that falling wedge. So let's see what the smaller time frames have to say. It came out on the news early. They beat in sales. Yeah, I reported that they beat in sales and that they beat in EPS. So all we need is good bullish guidance from Adam Aaron. If we get some good bullish guidance, I think he already announced the popcorn, so he already tweeted that, and he already announced the point of sales. I thought he was going to wait till earnings to do that, but he already announced that right now. It's going to be in Walmart's, 2,600 Walmarts across the nation, so that is bullish to me. And look at this packaging. Like, the packaging looks absolutely amazing. Someone just said we're missed. All right, hold on. Nah, I got a positive earnings report. Hold on. Let's see what's going on. They might be playing games. Hold on. I'm gonna put the chart on. I'm gonna look, see if I can find the data. Hold on. We're at about $7.14. $7.10. Yeah, man, they're definitely trying to mess with us. They are definitely trying to mess with us. Because what's crazy, like, this happens to no other stock. Like, I don't even want to get started, but this happens to no other stock. Like, how did the earnings numbers come out a miss? Then earnings came out a beat. And now people reporting on the news that the mainstream media came out that earnings is a miss. EPS per shares, I think, was 14 cents. I posted the numbers. It's, EPS per share is a 14-cent beat. And sales were beat 977 million, 977.67 million. Definitely trying to mess with us. And honestly, that's what all this I think is, because if we look at, let's see how many shares they have to short. Check out Stonko Tractor. Let me get Fintel up too. $500,000. See what Fintel says. Look at the short interest. This number blows my mind. Yeah, 500,000. Look, they're shorting right now. They are actively shorting right now. Look at the shares going down. I told you they were gonna need them shares. Okay. Ooh, 3 more minutes till earnings call. 3 more minutes till earnings call. Get hyped, guys. Grab a beer, grab a drink. Go ahead and relax. Kick it up because, guys, it's about to go down. We're about to kick it off with the earnings call. Adam Aaron's about to give guidance. Found out that March 17th is the deadline for the FTDs to be covered. That is an interesting piece of information. Because they want to delay the vote till, I think, March 17th, right? March 17th, there was another date that came up with that. All right, AMC looking a little bit dumpy, holding $7 as support. I'm looking to hold at least 680 as support. We had a really strong bounce off of 680. But, guys, do not fear if we do see a pullback. And again, I'm going to be doing a video after this, so I'll be doing all of my technical analysis on that video, giving you guys all the technical data, support and resistance levels, everything that you guys need to be prepared for this week, and what I'm looking at on the charts using the data and the technical analysis. All right, we're getting a doji on the 5-minute right here. It looks like we're going to get a bounce. We're getting this could be an inverse head and shoulders on the smaller time frame. Right there would be your shoulder, head, shoulder. If we get a bounce right here. All right, 1 minute to earnings call.
That was the original one. No, you're actually right, Bill. My bad. My fault.
Let me get, just in case he doesn't play it. I will not support Matt Kors in any way. I won't even stream snipe him.
Here, the earnings call, I'm not going to be.
All right.
Again, so we did a sound check here. The earnings call starts right basically now.
So if you guys wouldn't mind, slap that like as you guys come in.
So I'm just gonna. I do apologize for
Video
being
filed
so
for a $10
janky.
billion offer.
But I'm gonna stream snipe one of these guys to play the call. I do apologize for being janky as hell right now, and I promise next earnings call I will have it set up better. I do apologize, but yeah, I'm gonna stream snipe them for the earnings call. Toast, Mark Coyle. Toast to you, brother. All right, is it gonna play or?
Currently in progress.
We're just waiting for this earnings call to get the guidance from Adam Aaron.
Yeah, so let me see. So the offering for NVIDIA here.
Is the call on? What's going on? I'm not going to miss it.
700% cost of borrow also means that AMC is looking at.
Look how strong the support has been right here. Definitely need to mark that right there. So look at that. Looking for a possible inverse head and shoulders here. So that would be a shoulder, a head, shoulder. Bring us back up to about the $7.30 range. My TA shows above 622. that we're gonna bounce at 622?
Rule Calamari, Josh Bruno.
All right, so I don't think the call is on just yet.
I'll
Year-end
check.
2020
All right, here we go. Here we go.
webcast. At this time, all
Here we
participants
go. Let's
are
go,
in a
guys.
listen-only mode. A brief question and answer session will follow the formal
LFG,
presentation.
let's go.
If anyone should require operator assistance during the conference, please press *0 on your telephone keypad. As a reminder, this conference is being recorded.
Shout out to all the apes.
It is now my pleasure to
Shout
introduce
out
to your
to all
host,
the apes.
John Merriweather, Vice President, Capital Markets and Investor Relations. Thank you, John. You may begin.
Thank you, Bikram. Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome everyone to AMC's fourth quarter and year-end 2022 earnings webcast. With me this afternoon is Adam Aron, our Chairman and CEO, and Sean Goodman, our Chief Financial Officer. Before I turn the webcast over to Adam, let me remind everyone that some of the comments made by management during this webcast may contain forward-looking statements that are based on management's current expectations. Numerous risks, uncertainties, and other factors may cause actual results to differ materially from those that might be expressed today. Many of these risks and uncertainties are discussed in
price
our most
action
recent
just
public
literally just
filings,
stopped
including
moving.
our most recently filed 10-K and 10-Q. Several of the factors that will determine the company's future results are beyond the ability of the company to control or predict. In light of the uncertainties inherent in any forward-looking statements, listeners are cautioned against relying on these statements. The company undertakes no obligation to revise or update any forward-looking statements, whether as a result of new information or future events. On the webcast, we may reference non-GAAP financial measures such as adjusted EBITDA, constant currency, free cash flow, operating cash burn, and operating cash generated, among others. For a full reconciliation of our non-GAAP measures to GAAP results, please see our earnings release posted in the investor relations section of our website earlier today. After our prepared remarks, there will be a question and answer session. This afternoon's webcast is being recorded and a replay will be available in the investor relations section of our website at amctheaters.com later today. With that, I'll turn the call over to Adam.
Thank you, John. Good afternoon, one and all, and thank you for joining us today. Let me add a very special welcome to the thousands of our individual shareholders who've been making it a habit to tune into these quarterly earnings webcasts for AMC Entertainment. 2022 marked another
Got a
year
break below
of significant
$7.
strategic, operational, and financial gains for AMC Entertainment. With our two announcements
Looking
today
for 680 for the bounce,
on
680 for
Q4
support.
2022 earnings and of the launch of AMC Perfectly Popcorn at more than 2,600 U.S. Walmart stores, once again, AMC is demonstrating unmistakable progress along our multi-year pandemic recovery glide path. In my opinion, there are 5 reasons why AMC shareholders should be especially excited and smiling today. First, the increasing size of our industry as it recovers. Second, AMC's performance in Q4. Third, the fact that we are outperforming our competitors. Fourth, our agility in raising cash and reducing debt. And fifth, this morning's Walmart AMC Perfectly Popcorn announcement. First and overarching is the size of our industry itself, which is increasing. For 5 consecutive years prior to the pandemic, from 2015 to 2019, the domestic box office, which is all theaters, all brands across the United States and Canada, exceeded $11 billion. It was $11.4 billion in 2019. But then COVID came and brought our industry to its knees. And the 2020 domestic box office was only $2.2 billion. Down, as we all know, a breathtaking 82% year over year from the pre-pandemic level in 2019. Since then, our industry has seen a steady growth trajectory. The 2021 domestic box office was $4.5 billion, more than double that of 2020. And 2022's full year domestic box office of $7.4 billion was about 65% higher than 2021. The numbers again, $11.4 billion in 2019, falling to $2.2 billion, rising to $4.5 billion, rising to $7.4 billion. Based on the box office results so far in the first quarter of 2023, which is already up 44% year over year, combined with a much larger number of broader and deeper movie titles to be released in the coming quarters, based on what we know today, the 2023 domestic box office will almost certainly be significantly higher in 2023 than that of 2022. You all know that we finished 2022 and started 2023 on a very strong note with what is already the third highest grossing film of all time, James Cameron's epic sequel, Avatar: The Way of Water. It really is a testament to the genius of James Cameron that he is responsible for 3 of the 4 highest grossing movies in the history of cinema. I digress for a moment to say thank you, Jim Cameron, and thank you to your producing partner, John Landau. It won't surprise you both to hear that you both are greatly appreciated by AMC and by the millions of AMC shareholders and the millions of AMC moviegoers. Please, please, Jim and John, keep making more movies. Speaking of more movies, that's one of the key stories of the coming year, 2023. The incredible Tom Cruise's Top Gun: Maverick, which grossed more than $1.5 billion in movie theaters in 2022, and Avatar: The Way of Water, which has already grossed almost $2.3 billion in movie theaters in only 11 weeks, among many other successful movie releases, they all prove that moviegoers no longer are afraid to go to a cinema to watch a movie, as they once were afraid in the darkest days of 2020 at the height of the pandemic. Our problem now in generating
holding
attendance
strong
in
support,
theaters
holding strong
is
support.
quite different.
This
Instead,
looks bullish to me. I
it's
don't care
simply
what
that
anyone
Hollywood
says.
has been releasing fewer movies of late. Depending upon how you count, the number of major movies released in 2022 was somewhere between a third and a half fewer than the total number of such major films released in 2019 before the pandemic. Fortunately, now, finally, that is all changing. We currently estimate that 30 or more movies will gross more than $100 million domestically in 2023. That compares with only 18 doing so in the just completed 2022. That is an increase in 2023 of about 75% of the number of movie titles grossing $100 million or more. Let me repeat that. We are expecting in 2023 about a 75% increase in the number of major movie titles grossing $100 million or more compared to last year. The second reason for our enthusiasm is that AMC posted much improved results for the fourth quarter of 2022. Naturally, we're pleased that AMC Entertainment easily bested consensus estimates for Q4 2022 revenue and for Q4 2022 adjusted EBITDA, as well as posting a beat on adjusted net income and EPS for 2022 Q4 after excluding for non-cash impairment write-offs. We are similarly encouraged that Q4 2022 revenue per patron of $19.98 was well above pre-pandemic levels, thanks to rising ticket prices and the consumers' continued predilection to indulge more at our concession stands in our high-margin food and beverage business. AMC's full year 2022 results represented our strongest year since pre-pandemic 2019, with 2022 results improving over 2021, which in turn were better than those of 2020. Indeed, in full year 2022, AMC saw our annual revenue increase by more than 54% year over year, and our adjusted EBITDA improved in a single year by more than $338 million versus 2021. That's an enormous increase. The third reason we are smiling today is that as the world's largest theater chain, we are outrunning our competitors. Number two, Regal Cineworld, is in bankruptcy court because they essentially ran out of cash in September. By contrast, AMC has been masterful in raising equity as needed, and we ended 2022 with over $840 million of cash in the bank or undrawn revolving credit lines. As for number three operator, Cinemark, we encourage you to look at the Q4 metrics where we overlap in the United States. Average ticket price, AMC, $12.22. Cinemark, only $10 even, $12.22, $10. Food and beverage per patron, AMC, $7.76. Cinemark, $7.43. Total revenues per patron, AMC, $21.85.
Fallen wedge breakout.
$19.35.
Fallen wedge breakout, 680
Film
pounds.
exhibition cost, and this is one where you want the number to be low, not high. AMC, our film exhibition costs were 51% of our admissions revenues. At Cinemark, it was 58%. Our fourth marker of progress at AMC has been our ability to strengthen our liquidity profile and balance sheet. Over the last 12 months, AMC has raised approximately $314 million in gross cash proceeds, and we've also reduced the aggregate principal balance of our debt by approximately $390 million since the beginning of 2022. And as for that fifth reason for smiles today, the exciting popcorn announcement this morning, we are launching with Walmart. What an enormous vote of confidence that's coming to AMC from the largest retailer in the United States in the quality and consumer appeal of our new microwave and ready-to-eat popcorn. I'll come back to that and other essential topics after I return, but right now let's pass the call over to Sean Goodman, our CFO, to review our financial and operating results in more detail. Sean?
Thanks, Adam, and thanks to everyone for joining us this afternoon. 2022 was a year of growth and recovery for AMC. During the year, we welcomed 201 million guests to our theaters around the world. That's a 56% increase compared to 2021, and it's 72 million more guests than in 2021. This attendance improvement, coupled with strong admissions and food and beverage revenue per guest, translated into a $1.384 billion increase in consolidated revenue, representing a 54.7% increase compared to 2021. And likewise, 2022 adjusted EBITDA improved by more than $338 million to a positive $46.6 million. This compares to a loss of $291.7 million in 2021. Clearly, our recovery is continuing in earnest. Now, looking specifically at the fourth quarter of 2022 compared to the same period last year, the North American box office declined by 14.5% to $1.8 billion. And this was due to the relative strength of Spider-Man: No Way Home in 2021 and the limited number of new titles available for release in October and November of 2022. Our fourth quarter consolidated revenue declined by $181 million, or 15.4%, to $991 million. However, on a constant currency basis, consolidated revenue declined by 12.4% as we outperformed the overall industry because of strong operating performance metrics. For the fourth quarter, on a constant currency basis, total consolidated revenue per patron was $20.69. This is approximately 5.4% higher than the fourth quarter of 2021. And this was driven by admissions revenue per patron growth of 5.1% and food and beverage revenue per patron growth
Bollinger Band's getting
of
tight.
7.8%.
Move to the upside coming.
It is worth noting that consolidated constant currency revenue per patron in Q4 of 2022 was 30.8% higher than pre-pandemic in 2019, indicative of the tremendous growth in revenue per patron during our recovery period. Domestic revenue in Q4 declined by 10.7%, with admissions revenue per patron increasing by 6.2% to $12.22, and food and beverage revenue per patron increasing by 7.7% to $7.76. In addition, other revenue per patron increased by 6.3%. In the international business, on a constant currency basis, revenue in Q4 declined by 16.6%, with admissions revenue per patron increasing by 2.2% to $10.70, and food and beverage revenue per patron increasing by 7.4% to $4.98. Other revenue per patron decreased by 8.8% as theater rental revenue generated during 2021 was replaced by regular admissions and food and beverage revenue. We continue to generate strong growth in revenue per patron as our guests enjoy our innovative food and beverage offerings, including movie theater themed cocktails and collectible items. Our initiatives to optimize admissions revenue, including blockbuster pricing, are yielding positive results, and the increased adoption of our industry-leading AMC app and our marketing initiatives are all helping to drive overall revenue per patron growth. And this growth is further supported by increased premium format, or PLF, penetration, with PLF attendance representing 25.5% of domestic attendance in Q4 2022, compared to 19.8% in Q4 of 2021. And in our international markets, premium format attendance represented 18% of attendance, compared to 10.7% in the fourth quarter of 2021. So clearly, guests are increasingly appreciating the premium experience offered by our IMAX, Dolby, and AMC Prime offerings. Looking forward, we will maintain our focus on the guest experience that supports the strength of our key performance metrics, including 1, ongoing enhancement of our loyalty programs and the functionality of the AMC app. 2, innovative food and beverage offerings. 3, investing in providing the best possible sight and sound experiences through advanced laser projection technology and premium offerings such as IMAX, Dolby, and AMC Prime. And 4, growing revenue through diversification initiatives such as retail popcorn, the AMC credit card, renting out our theaters during off-peak times, marketing, and promotional initiatives. All of the above to be achieved while paying very close attention to our overall operating efficiency. Let's talk about the balance sheet now. We ended the quarter with liquidity of $843 million, comprised of $632 million of cash and cash equivalents and $211 million of undrawn credit facilities. During the fourth quarter, net cash used in operating activities was $33.3 million, and we achieved positive non-GAAP operating cash generated of $57.5 million. And we define operating cash generated as cash from operating activities plus total capital expenditures before debt servicing costs and before deferred rent payback. During 2022, we were active in the capital markets as we took actions to strengthen our balance sheet. In total, in 2022, we raised $229 million of gross equity capital. We refinanced $1.4 billion of debt. We extended certain debt maturities through to 2026 and beyond. And we repurchased $123.5 million of debt at an average discount of 43.7%. The net result is a $220 million reduction in the principal amount of interest-bearing debt outstanding during 2022. And during 22, we also strengthened our balance sheet by repaying approximately $158 million of deferred rent. And this reduced our deferred rent balance to $157.2 million at December 31, 2022. You may recall that back in March of 2021, this deferred rent balance was more than $470 million. So over the last 21 months, we have lowered our deferred rent liability by approximately $313 million. All told, if we include the decrease in deferred rent, we reduced our liabilities by a total of $378 million in 2022. And in addition to that, so far in the first quarter of 2023, we have raised another $84.7 million of gross equity proceeds. And we have reduced the principal balance of our debt outstanding by an additional $170.2 million through the exchange of debt into equity and capitalizing on opportunities to repurchase debt at a discount. These actions in the first quarter of 2023 so far take our total debt reduction to $548 million when we include the reduction in deferred rent liabilities. And our total equity capital so far raised to $314 million. Note that during 2023, we plan to further reduce the deferred rent balance by another $75 to $100 million, and this will reduce the liability to approximately $60 to $80 million by the end of 2023. Regarding capital allocation, our priorities remain unchanged. One, we need to maintain sufficient liquidity to manage through the recovery phase of our business. Two, we just strengthen our balance sheet by extending debt maturities, reducing debt, and reducing associated interest costs. Three, invest in our business to continue to enhance the guest experience.
This is it. Get ready.
And four, opportunistically pursue value-enhancing initiatives, including those that lead to diversification of our business and revenue streams. Having the flexibility to raise equity capital allows us to opportunistically take critical actions to strengthen our balance sheet and at the same time successfully navigate through the ongoing recovery of our industry. For these reasons, I would like to take this opportunity to urge shareholders to vote in favor of the proposals that will be voted on at the upcoming shareholder meeting on March 14th. These proposals are designed to protect the long-term value of AMC equity and provide us with the flexibility necessary to ensure a successful recovery from the ongoing impact of the COVID pandemic. Our capital expenditure, net of landlord contributions, was $69 million in the fourth quarter of 2022, and we finished the year with a total net capex spend of $182.1 million. And similar to 2022, looking towards 2023, we expect our capital expenditure to be in the range of $150 to $200 million. Actively managing our theater portfolio continues to be a priority as we add new high-performing locations and eliminate low performers, all with the goal of improving our guest satisfaction and enhancing our overall profitability. During the fourth quarter, we added 5 new theaters and we closed 9. This brings the total number of locations closed since the pandemic began to 115, and the total new locations opened to 54 for a net reduction of 61 locations. The combined 54 new locations continue to substantially outperform the 115 closed locations prior to their closings, and they also are outperforming our underwriting expectations. Looking forward, we're optimistic about the future and the opportunities to strengthen and diversify our business while continuing to enhance our financial position. So with that, I'll hand the call back over to Adam to review some exciting recent announcements and provide an update on our strategic initiatives, including our upcoming stockholder meeting. Adam.
Thank you, Sean. As I said at the top of the call, at AMC, we're all smiles today. But by no means are we out of the woods yet. We will need to remain smart and action-oriented to successfully chart our way through what are still COVID-impacted waters. But clearly, we have been and are now making great progress. And while we have much more work ahead of us still, my ongoing conversations with our studio partners, including some as recently as this weekend, buoys my optimism that more movies are indeed headed to theaters and that the value of theatrical exhibition is clearly recognized and internalized by the heads of every single major studio. As the leader of AMC, I am proud that we have resiliently weathered many a storm over the past 36 months. A storm first of the virus itself, then the threat to exclusive theatrical windows. More recently, the conviction held by some that streaming services would win out over theaters. And all through it was the concern that there would not be enough cash in the coffers for AMC to outlast all that we had to stare down. What's more, there was the added complexity for us of doing something well that few, if any, companies ever thought about before: how to adjust to a whole new cadre of millions of individual shareholders taking ownership of our company. Fortunately for us, the people who predicted that we could not weather the storms were all wrong. And more fortunately for us, those new retail investors turned out to be the saviors of our company. Their passion for AMC saved our company as they provided us with the cash resources we needed to survive. They also flooded us with some truly great ideas, including one of my personal favorites, that we should sell popcorn to the home market in what is, after all, a multi-billion-dollar category. This morning's exciting news announcement that the retail launch of AMC's microwave and ready-to-eat perfectly popcorn is at hand, and exclusively with the nation's largest retailer, Walmart. It keeps a promise to do so that I made 16 months ago to our shareholders, and it's yet another example of AMC's powerful commitment to innovation. Beginning on March 11, just ahead of the Oscars telecast on March 12, AMC's ready-to-eat popcorn will be available exclusively at hundreds of Walmart locations on much sought-after featured end cap displays. In the weeks that follow, AMC Perfectly Popcorn will hit the shelves again exclusively at more than 2,600 Walmart stores in the United States, with 3 varieties of ready-to-eat popcorn in the following flavors: classic butter, extra butter, and for those seeking a lower sodium solution, lightly salted. The ready-to-eat varieties are expected to be priced at $3.98 per bag, plus tax, and they all offer the authentic taste of real AMC movie theater popcorn to be enjoyed anywhere. Then, our microwave AMC Perfectly Popcorn will become available at Walmart. Again, in the same 3 flavors: classic butter, extra butter, lightly salted. And they are expected to retail for $4.98 plus tax for a 6-count box. As an added and unique benefit, the extra butter microwave boxes will include 6 packets of additional buttery topping that eaters at home can use to slather all over their popcorn, truly replicating that ultimate AMC movie theater popcorn experience. This first of its kind approach by a theatrical exhibitor to distribute ready-to-eat and microwave popcorn at retail outlets all across the country further differentiates AMC as the undisputed leader in this industry and greatly extends the visibility of the AMC brand. Another idea that came to us from our investors was to sell AMC and movie-themed merchandise. We are doing so now across the United States and online. As every major movie releases, as every big tentpole releases, we have something themed for that film. And it's but one of many such examples of success here are, if you can believe it, Ant-Man popcorn helmets have been quite popular, selling almost $2 million worth in less than 2 weeks. This has proven to be such a successful concept that we're about to launch the same activity across our theaters in Europe. Thank you, retail shareholders, for the idea. Next on the innovation docket is the launch of our new co-branded AMC Entertainment Visa card, coming soon to a wallet or a purse near you. It's been designed to drive increased AMC brand loyalty, along with incremental attendance to our AMC theaters, and should generate attractive financial returns with very little risk to boot. And finally, we recently announced a potentially important development. We announced that we are testing sightline seating at AMC in some of our theaters in New York, Chicago, and Kansas City. New York and Chicago because they're big cities in the United States, Kansas City because we're headquartered here and we ourselves want to walk into our theaters and talk to our guests and gauge their reactions directly and firsthand. The test is being done for a potential nationwide rollout later in 2023. With sightline seating, as you know, if you saw the release, we are charging a slight premium for the most popular seats in an auditorium, but discounting the prices of less popular seats closer to the screen up front. This is in line with how other sellers price their seats for live theater, for concerts, for sporting events. It's also how we've been pricing movie theater tickets in Europe for many years. We do understand, however, that this is a substantial change to the status quo for U.S. moviegoers, so we will be watching very closely changes right now. We will report back to you in future calls what we're seeing in the tests, and we look forward to this thing working well for the benefit both of our movie-going public and for AMC. AMC's ability to continue to raise capital during our ongoing recovery makes all these potentially transformative innovations and new actions possible, and it is crucial to our future success. To that end, I'd like to utilize the remainder of my formal remarks today to discuss the upcoming March 14 special stockholders meeting and the importance of the proposals on which our shareholders are already voting. Last August, we issued 516,800,000 APE preferred equity units as a dividend to holders of our AMC common shares on a one-for-one basis. The primary goals of issuing the APE dividend was to provide AMC with a new currency that could be used to strengthen our balance sheet by generating cash, bolstering our liquidity, to reduce our debt, and to allow us to grow. And that is precisely what the APE units have done. Since September of 2022, the creation of APE units resulted in AMC successfully raising $314 million of gross cash proceeds and allowed us to reduce the principal balance of our debt by more than $221 million, most of which was profitably repurchased at a substantial discount. Indeed, AMC is unequivocally a stronger company today as a result of the creation of the APE dividend, and it's allowing us to raise cash and reduce debt. I might add that came amidst a lot of press speculation that we'd be unsuccessful in doing so. To the naysayers and doomtellers, you know what I say. Choke on that. However, despite having the same economic and voting rights as our AMC common shares, APE preferred equity units have consistently traded at a mysterious and substantial discount to AMC common shares. This discount creates inefficiencies that increases our cost of capital and causes unnecessary and preventable dilution. So, after careful thought, the AMC Board of Directors is presenting important proposals for shareholders to vote on at the upcoming special meeting on March 14, 2022. These proposals are designed to protect the long-term value of a shareholder's investment in AMC while still providing AMC with the flexibility necessary to continue along our recovery trajectory in a challenging environment. As you already know, the two key proposals are: 1, increase the number of authorized AMC common shares from 524 million to 550 million, and combine the AMC common shares and 8 preferred units. Second, to effect a reverse stock split of 1 share for every 10, which together with the increase in authorized common shares permits that automatic conversion of 8 units into AMC common stock. Our board and I strongly believe that it's in the best interest now of AMC shareholders to convert 8 units into AMC common shares, thereby simplifying our capital structure and eliminating the gap between the prices of APE units and of AMC shares. As AMC's single largest individual shareholder, with millions of AMC shares and APE units, I have a vested interest in the outcome of this election because my net worth rises as AMC strengthens, and my net worth falls as AMC gets weaker. I currently own outright some 3.7 million AMC shares or 8 units, and have a further economic interest in an additional 4.5 million 8 units or AMC shares as a result of granted but unvested stock. In total, I have some 8.2 million AMC shares or AMC units. You know what that means? It means that my interests are directly aligned with those of our shareholders. I am not some hedge fund plant or Trojan horse, as a few of the more bizarre conspiracy theories go.
Right now?
I'm on the side of the retail investor because I am myself a retail investor.
No,
And I'd like to share with you the 7 reasons why I have voted yes, voting for the proposals that are being recommended by the board. Before I do so, however, I should point out that litigation has been brought in the Delaware Court of Chancery, attempting to block our shareholder proposals and your right to vote on them. We believe such litigation is without merit, that our actions have been totally lawful and consistent with our charter, and we will vigorously defend our position in this matter. The court has ordered that the March 14 vote shall take place on schedule, but that any implementation action resulting from the vote be held in abeyance until the court rules on the substance of the claims being made. So the vote is on, and it is on now. I urge our shareholders to vote now so that your voice can be heard.
You heard him. Vote
And
now.
because I think it's the right thing for me to do and for you to do, I urge you to vote for the proposals with me. Here's why. First, a more resilient AMC Having the flexibility to efficiently and opportunistically tap both the equity and debt capital markets results in a more resilient company. Were it not for our ability to have raised both equity and debt over the past 3 years, AMC would not have survived the pandemic that caused a material decline in our business activity. Second, reduce capital raising inefficiencies associated with APE units trading at a discount to AMC shares. Converting APE units to AMC shares will result in a single price for all AMC equity. This single price eliminates the inefficiency inherent in the discount between APE units and AMC common stock and will allow AMC to more efficiently raise equity capital at the most attractive terms in the future. Third, enhance the ability to raise cash and increase liquidity. Well, I believe AMC is currently in a strong liquidity position with more than $840 million of available liquidity at the end of December 22. The ability to efficiently raise additional liquidity when needed has proven to be critical for this company in the past. And depending upon the path and timing of recovery, may be critical to our survival again in the future. Fourth, strengthen AMC's balance sheet. AMC's balance sheet is expected to strengthen over time as the box office grows. At the same time, as we have demonstrated in recent months, there continue to be attractive opportunities for us to use available equity or equity proceeds to buy back debt or exchange debt for equity at a discount to face value, which greatly benefits shareholders. Fifth, simplify ownership in AMC. Consolidating ownership of AMC into one single class for all shareholders eliminates the added complexity that some brokerages have imposed on their clients in the holding or trading of our preferred equity securities. In addition, the single class of equity eliminates the potential for hedge funds or other investors to engage in arbitrage trading strategies between the APE and AMC securities. Sixth, position AMC to transform into a stronger, more diversified company. A single equity class will better allow us to pursue attractive shareholder value creation opportunities, to diversify and to transform our business. And last, seventh, create long-term value for AMC. A vote for the resolutions is a vote in favor of the long-term value of AMC. Since we announced our intention to hold a shareholder vote to convert APE units into AMC shares, the total equity value of our company has increased. The other matter of consequence being discussed at the March 14 shareholder meeting is the 1-for-10 reverse stock split. So let me quickly address that topic.
Yeah, please do.
If you have 10 $1 bills in your pocket and you exchange them for one $10 bill, you still have $10 either way. If you would have 10 $10 bills in your pocket and you exchange them for one $100 bill, you'd still have $100 either way. This reverse split in and of itself should be neutral. However, for a variety of reasons, including the technical listing rules of stock exchanges, we think it's unwise for our shares to be trading at levels in the single digits. The reverse split also creates room to allow for the full conversion of APEs into common stock, which we also think is a good idea for each of you, as I previously explained, and creates the capacity for common stock to be issued as equity in the future. In my view, I believe that there's no compelling argument why our shareholders should generally be averse to a reverse stock split. As I stated earlier, having the flexibility to continue to raise capital as we navigate through our recovery is crucial to AMC's future success and has thus far kept us from the fate of several of our competitors who have been forced to seek bankruptcy protection. Were we to be somehow deprived of this cash-raising capability, our future may not nearly be so bright as it appears currently. Indeed, our future could turn quite bleak in just a blink of an eye. I cannot emphasize enough that while things are looking up now, our success could literally vaporize in an instant if we misstep. The reason we have succeeded to date is that, in our opinion, we have threaded the needle perfectly heretofore during this pandemic. But make no mistake, the need to continue to thread the needle perfectly going forward is unchanged at AMC Entertainment. Fortunately, we're pretty good at this. And we've been at it a while, and we know what we're doing. I know I have about 3 or 4 million friends out there who like to give me advice, but I'd like to remind you we've done a pretty good job of stewarding this company during tough times. Avoiding a dire fate is a commitment that I personally made to our shareholders in the earliest days of this global pandemic, when our revenues went to zero overnight and stayed there for months. I remain steadfast in that commitment to you today. Every action that AMC has taken is in direct support of that commitment. Despite what the naysayers or the short sellers or those who wish us harm would have you believe, our mission now is clear. And it's the same exact cause that so many of our shareholders joined and embraced way back in the dark days of 2020 and early 2021. You all remember the hashtag, SaveAMC. That's the report for Q4 2022. Sean, let's now move to questions, both from our industry analysts and from our shareholders.
Great, thanks, Adam. Let's start with some questions from our shareholders. There are a number of questions coming through about the upcoming shareholder vote that we just spoke about. Here's a good example. What are the implications if the vote passes? And what are the implications if the vote does not pass?
So if the vote passes, it's my expectation that this ridiculous gap between the price of an ape and the price of an AMC share will go away. And when I say it's a ridiculous gap, folks say the same thing. They have the same economic rights. They have the same voting rights. Why should an ape be trading at a third the price of a common share or a seventh of the price of a common share as it was just 2 months ago? If the vote passes, I think what you'll find is that this discounting of the ape goes away. What that means is that we'll be able to raise capital on, in my opinion, more attractive terms. Similarly, what will happen if the vote passes is there'll be a 1 to 10 reverse stock split. So you'll stop seeing the share price of AMC floating around, $3 or $4 or $5 a share. The simple math is it should multiply by 10. Where it goes from there, up or down, that's a function of market dynamics. But it is simple math. You'll be trading 10 shares for one, which mathematically should be priced 10 times higher. If the votes that we're voting on at this shareholder meeting do not pass,
they're trying to rob us.
It's true that the reverse split won't happen. But what is true is that the status quo doesn't change, which means that there still will be apes and there still will be AMC shares. The apes will continue to trade at a discount, I would guess. No one has a perfect crystal ball, but that's been the experience since August. And since our ability to raise capital is tied only to the price of the ape, if the ape continues to exist, it would seem that we wouldn't be blocked from raising capital, but we'd be raising capital on much less attractive terms. It would cause more dilution of the stock that is entirely 100% preventable if a majority of our shareholders vote yes.
So here's another question related to this. It's related to the reverse stock split. And basically it says, why do we need to do a reverse stock split? Can't we just convert APE units into AMC without doing this reverse stock split?
We could, but as I said in my earlier remarks,
Yeah.
The share
Let's
price
just do
would
that.
hover in the single digits. And there are certain technical listing rules on stock exchanges. We don't think it's a good idea for our stock to be trading in single digits. And since we're going to have a shareholder vote anyway, it seemed logical to us to resolve both questions at the same time. It's expensive to call these special meetings of shareholders. It costs millions of dollars to do so. We'd rather get them both done now than have to deal with a reverse stock split at some point in the future.
We have a number of shareholders asking about their proxy materials. One example here is, I have not yet received my proxy materials from my broker. What do I need to do to be able to vote, to get my proxy materials and be able to vote?
As Bill Clinton famously said in the 1990s, for those of you who are old enough to remember the 1990s, I feel your pain. My AMC shares and APE units are at 4 brokerage firms, and I've received the voting materials from 3 of the 4 firms, but not the 4th. So if you have not heard from your broker, you should do what I'm about to do. Call them. Explain to them that there is a March 14 shareholder vote, that you own shares or units, and that you'd like to cast your vote, and they should get you a proxy. If your broker is not acting in response to your question quickly enough, email or call our proxy solicitor, DF King. You can reach them at an email address, amc@dfking.com, amc@dfking.com. Their phone number is 800-859-8511. All the information I just gave is for our U.S. shareholders, probably our Canadian shareholders, and international shareholders in many countries. But we are all aware, painfully, that the brokerage firms in some countries, especially in Europe, do not facilitate shareholder voting. And if you're with one of those firms, there's not much you can do other than put your shares in a different broker who would allow you to vote at future shareholder meetings.
And there's a question here about the lawsuit that you mentioned in your prepared remarks. It says it has been reported that AMC is defending against 2 lawsuits relating to the issuance of APE units. Is this true? And can you elaborate?
Yes, litigation's been filed. We think it's misguided. We believe that all the actions we've taken are lawful. We think we have the merits in this case. It's consistent with our charter. We will defend our position vigorously, and we are encouraged that the Delaware Court of Chancery has allowed this March 14 vote to proceed on schedule.
There's some questions here about our loyalty programs, and I'll just read a few of them to you. Does AMC have any plans to revise loyalty programs and A-list memberships? For example, what about family memberships, partnerships with streaming companies, maybe a lower price for memberships with restrictions to limit frequency of attendance, etc.?
So those are all good questions and good ideas. We have been and are studying them all. The 2 of the most important marketing programs we have are AMC Stubs and especially AMC Stubs A-List. About half of our total clientele in the United States participates in Stubs, and about 15% of our total activity in the United States comes from A-List members. These are very important programs. We're constantly reviewing them for possible changes and improvements. There's nothing immediately on the horizon that would change either program, other than AMC Visa Entertainment Card that's going to be added, an AMC Entertainment Visa Card, yeah, I said it right. AMC Entertainment Visa Card that'll be coming as part of the Stubs program that will allow Stubs members to earn even more Stubs points both when they spend at our theaters and when they spend away from our theaters. But keep the good ideas flowing. We continue to think hard about what's the best way for AMC to approach the movie-going public.
Question about our theater footprint. Does AMC plan on opening new theaters in areas such as perhaps South Carolina or other states where AMC has a limited presence?
I can't make a specific comment about South Carolina, but at least South Carolina has one of our theaters. We have none in Hawaii. We have none in Alaska. We have none in Mississippi. I don't think we're in Vermont. But we do have the largest national footprint of any operator. I think we're in 43 or 44 states on the District of Columbia. We have a sizable market share in the largest cities all across the country. Plus, we have a big platform of theaters, even in smaller rural markets. We're always looking to add theaters. And you said earlier in the call, Sean, that we closed over 100 theaters that were not performing during the pandemic, but we opened up 54 new ones. And the 54 new ones were producing to the bottom line far more than the 100 that we closed. I think 10 of the 54 probably produced far more EBITDA than the 100 that we closed. So we're always looking to grow. We can grow by adding new build theaters from the ground up, or there's also the opportunity for us to inexpensively add into our system theaters that may have been opened by other operators who have faltered during the pandemic. Several firms declared for bankruptcy over the last 3 years and shed a lot of theaters. And we picked up a bunch. As you know, we picked up about a third of the ArcLight circuit, which was headquartered in Los Angeles. We picked up more than half of the Bowtie circuit that was headquartered in Connecticut. Our eyes continue to be wide open. I do believe that there will be a continued opportunity for AMC to add theater locations quite inexpensively. And I might add, to do so sometimes requires money, which is why it was so very helpful to us that we have raised over $300 million of cash from August through January. The more cash in the bank, the easier it is to make the decision to add theaters and grow.
There is a huge amount of interest in the retail launch of AMC Perfectly Popcorn. Let me read to you just a few of the questions. Can you talk more about the opportunity for AMC in retail popcorn? When will AMC Popcorn be available in the US nationwide? Will AMC Popcorn be available to purchase online through the AMC website? Will AMC Popcorn be available to purchase in Canada and maybe in Europe?
That's a lot of questions. Yes, the enthusiasm and excitement for AMC Perfectly Popcorn at home is real. I see it on Twitter. When I look at the readership of the tweets I've been putting out recently on popcorn, they're sky high. The likes are sky high. The retweets are sky high. The comments back to me, every single one of which I read, by the way. I got like 4,000 or 5,000 inbound messages on the popcorn tweets recently, and I read them all. Boy, they make me excited because you're excited about it. We launched March 11th, Oscar weekend, with end cap displays at Walmart. They're almost impossible to get. And Walmart volunteered them up to us because they're excited about popcorn. And by late April, we'll be at more than 2,600 Walmart stores. That's more than half of all Walmart locations in the United States. We will have a website where you'll be able to go to find out at what walk you walk before you run. We're going to start in the United States and see where it goes from there.
Thanks, Adam. We continue to receive a very large number of really terrific suggestions from our retail investors, business ideas to grow and diversify and build on the business. And I want to say that we, as a management team, review these, we investigate these. So please, investors, please keep these ideas coming. I think with that,
Let me just respond to
Sure.
that. What an oddity, a company that actually listens to its investors. How about that for a change? Yes, sir. You want to go to a question from an analyst, maybe?
Got a questions for
We're already running a little bit long, but if on this call today, but if any investor wants to ask, go ahead.
Operator, we can go to questions from analysts.
Thank you very much. We will now be taking live questions. If you'd like to ask a question, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. A confirmation tone will indicate your line is in the question queue. You may press star 2 if you'd like to remove your question from the queue. For participants using speaker equipment, it may be necessary to pick up your handset before pressing the star keys. So we have time for only one question, and we take
Wow.
question from the line of Eric Wold with B. Riley Securities. Please go ahead.
Hey, good afternoon, Adam and Sean. I appreciate it. I guess as much as I'm looking forward to the popcorn business being a separately reported segment, I have a couple questions on the core, the theater business. I guess first off,
Hey, Eric, not to interrupt, but you know what you're going to like more than how we report the popcorn results? Eating the popcorn. It's really good. We actually worked for a full year on the flavor profile of these products. They are really great.
I'm looking forward to enjoying it with the Oscars. On the Sightline seating plan or program, I guess obviously it makes sense given what we've seen with other entertainment businesses. I guess what are your thoughts on where you see the biggest benefit coming from? Is it the premium on the better seats? Is it filling up the less desirable seats to have their price lower? Or is it that loyalty members don't pay the premium seat charges? Is the benefit driving more loyalty membership into that program?
And the answer is all of the above. You've got the 3 benefits of the concept, right? We can discount up front. We can charge a slight premium in the middle. And we don't charge when I say the middle, the dead center of the auditorium where most people want to sit. And if we don't charge that premium and impose it on A-listers, that's just another big value increase for A-list members, which should make more people want to be A-list members. So all 3 have the ability to drive improvement. And, some people have looked at this as a price increase, which of course it is on day one. But what's really interesting is that we are in inflationary times. And inflationary times cause cost to rise. And without making any comment about what AMC is going to do, because it's not legal to talk about pricing prospectively, but companies facing inflationary pressures tend to raise prices, not talking about AMC. Under the pre-Sightline structure of our industry, if we wanted to raise a price in a theater, the only choice we had was to raise the price on all the seats in the theater. And so what's one of the many benefits of Sightline, other than the 3 that you mentioned, are that if we feel the need to raise prices, we might only do it in the most popular seats in the auditorium and actually hold the line and not raise prices on other seats in the auditorium. So it's actually a way of, well, it is a way of increasing the price now. It's a potential way of preventing a price increase later on. And then there is, in fact, the opportunity to discount up front. I'm telling you, I've been looking at what we call heat maps, which are what seats are booked for a particular movie. And nobody sits in row 1 in a movie theater. It just doesn't happen. It could be opening night of Star Wars. Every seat in the auditorium in row 3 to 18 is booked solid, and row 1 is empty. And it really is, there is a possibility here that by discounting the price up front, we might be able to expand the movie-going market to more price-sensitive consumers.
Perfect. That's helpful, Adam. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, is that it? Do they only have
Thank
one
you.
question?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of the question and answer session, and I would like to turn the floor back over to Mr. Aaron for closing comments.
All right,
Over to
here
you,
goes.
sir.
Here's AA Ron.
Thank you,
himself.
operator. To everyone on the call, thank you for being with us today. Today was a good day for AMC. We reported results that were unexpectedly positive. We introduced our popcorn line, and we've had a lot of discussion about the importance of the March 14 shareholder meeting that will simplify and strengthen the capital structure of this company going forward. Thank you for joining us today. There are a lot of big movies coming out. We look forward to seeing you at our theaters sometime soon.
Okay, so here's the problem with all of this. Like, I got a lot of.
All right. Sorry for the stream snipe. Okay, so there's a lot to digest in this. A lot to digest. I think the popcorn is a good thing, but this, I don't know. The whole thing just put a bad taste in my mouth for Adam Aaron. Like, I try to be neutral. I try to agree with this guy, but the whole thing puts a bad taste in my mouth. Adam, yo. Yeah, I'm kind of annoyed too. Oh, not in the price. The price looks bullish to me for the most part. I mean, we're still above $6. Looks bullish to me, but yeah, I'm definitely voting no. Adam Aaron wanting you to vote yes is all the more reason to vote no in my book. The popcorn though is definitely bullish. RSI is getting extremely oversold here. Definitely gonna get a bounce here soon, but I'm gonna do my TA and my overall update video, putting out the TA and the overall technical analysis. Definitely, like what I was saying, a nasty head and shoulders. Dude, right there's your shoulder, your head, and your shoulder. But as long as we hold 650, I would say that's bullish. $6, 650, I would say that's still extremely bullish. As long as we hold anywhere above this range, yeah, the $6.50, $6 area. Look at the daily time frame. Before I get too caught up in the TA, though, let's see what you guys are saying. You're welcome, guys. Thank you. Thank you for being here for my live stream. Sorry for the jankiness of it. I will make it better. I do apologize. And I'll be doing my TA later. I'm going to be dropping a video later today. After I hop off the live stream, I will be doing a video update, looking at all the technical analysis, all the fundamental data as per usual, and giving you guys just the facts, no emotions, no noise, just what I see in the charts. And I did call for the pullback today. I was hoping we'd see this rip here in this after hours time right now. But I'm really more concerned with like what Adam Aaron was saying in this vote. I really hope it gets delayed. I put out the video yesterday about the vote possibly getting delayed and the news we have with that. A lot of stuff going on. It's just getting real crazy. And if you guys ask me, I think that the FTDs will get erased if we do a reverse stock split. I know people are torn whether to vote yes or no, but me personally, I think that we need to vote. We need to vote no, okay? That's just my personal opinion. I think that we need to vote no. I know a lot of people are torn between the decision, but I think the reverse split will erase the FTDs. There's no way. We seen what happened with Ape. Like, it ran up, and then they dumped it and shorted 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 it. There's no way we're going to do this 10-to-1 reverse stock split and trade 10 times higher at a 10 times higher multiple. There's no way. What's going to happen is he's going to do the reverse stock split, erase all the FTDs, and then make the price tank. So he's going to say 10 times higher. It's going to be still trading at like $6, and you're going to have 10 less shares, or for every 10 shares that you have, you're going to have 10 less shares or whatever. You guys know what I'm trying to say, divided by 10. But they're going to take your shares, and then they're going to take your value of your shares, because what he just said, it would be trading at $65 right now for the 10-to-1 reverse stock split. And if that is true, I bet you if we did the 10-to-1 reverse stock split right now, you're going to lose your shares because you're trading your shares 10-to-1, and then it's going to be trading at like $20. And the FTDs are going to be gone, so there's going to be no short squeeze. Nah, bro. Nah. It's imperative. It is imperative that we do not vote yes on this. If he just wanted AMC to ape, and notice how when someone asked him the question, can't we just do AMC to ape? Can't we just do AMC to ape? He's like, oh, we could, but I don't want to do that because the price is low. Ape's at $3 right now. So it's really, or about $2. $2.50, $2.25. It could be a little bit higher. Yeah, nah. The only thing I would support AMC making money is to convert AMC to ape to make money that way. You don't. Why do you need a 10-to-1 reverse split? To erase FTDs. That's why. To erase the FTDs, get his banker buddies out, and then yeah. But that's just my personal opinion on that. On the 10-to-1 reverse stock split. I will be doing my technical analysis on this. I do think holding $6, $6.50. Look how we're reacting to $6.50. And this is really what I wanted to see. This will tell me everything I need to know. The bounce off of $6.50. We got this huge gravestone doji, which really should have been the end of the trend right here because we got this at the bottom of the trend. But this is showing us that this downtrend momentum is losing momentum. And if you go ahead and put on like the alligator and stuff like that, so if we go ahead and check out this, boom, alligator, and then put it on, let's say, we're looking at a relatively large move throughout the day. So we can see about the 15-hour time frame. You guys can see that the bands are starting to curl in on themselves. So I do think that this move is coming to end, this downside move. But we will have to see. It could come all the way down to $6. But I think we're going to get a strong bounce. Let's see what we're looking like on the Bollinger Bands here. Yeah, see, look, we're extended outside of the bands right now. So the move is way too quick of a move. We're definitely going to get a strong reaction to the upside. Hopefully on this trend line here, this trend line of support that I have, this ascending trend of support. Bullish. 647. Is that where we're at? $644 is what it says. Getting shorted. Yeah, look. Check that out. Check it out. So we're watching the shorts. We were watching this over the time of the stream. I don't know if you guys just tuned in now, but we've been watching the shares slowly diminish. So all the shares that they had to borrow. So they're using all the shares that they had to short. And someone said that in the comment section, and I did say this in my update early this morning, that they would be using these shares to short right now because they're going to need it to stump the momentum. The thing that we need to do now is maintain momentum. So look, I'm not telling you to go out to buy shares tomorrow, but like tomorrow, me personally, I might go out and buy some shares, okay? Do you, but I might go out and buy some shares tomorrow, not financial advice. We need to maintain momentum right now. They are actively trying to knock us down, actively trying to short us. We've been watching this over the stream. Shorts have slowly been using that 700,000, 750,000 shares available to borrow, and they've been using it, and it's slowly going down. They used about 250,000 shares right now, and they just absolutely dumped it when Adam Aaron started. As soon as Adam Aaron started talking, look, you can see it real time. 15 minutes ago, 45 minutes ago, 1 hour ago updates. So look, 700,000, 650. Look, they just started. about 4 hours ago. They just started 2 hours ago. They started using the shares, just dumping. They had about 700,000 all day. So hopefully they use up all their shares and try to stump momentum. A lot of people are confused on whether to buy AMC or Ape. Yeah, that's a big thing. Look, when it comes to AMC or Ape, I honestly think Ape is like, so if look, the thing about Ape, like if AMC is a risky play, AMC or Ape is like a super risky play because it's more manipulated and it's more crazy. But at the same time, the risk or the reward is so much more. So like when it comes to Ape, yo, like I got a decent amount of Ape, and Ape is looking really nice. We got that bounce off of 180. I'm gonna be doing the technical analysis on Ape. Looks like the fallen wedge that I've been tracking broke a little bit to the downside, so we will see. Let me see what we look like on the bigger time frames. Yeah, I'm gonna have to reevaluate. I was really hoping that held. I mean, it could be a part of a bigger trend. We'll see. We'll see. So, yeah, I will be doing the technical analysis for AMC and Ape on my video. I love doing technical analysis, so I start getting lost. Just start doing. I love looking at the charts and just trying to figure out what is going to happen next. The clues are in the charts. All right. Do we got any questions or anything? You got any questions? Are people still here? Oh, yeah, people are still here. They're still watching. Shout out if you're still watching the stream. We've been on for like 2 hours or something. We've been on for a while now. Shout out if you're still watching the stream. Don't need that. Don't need that. I should probably start using TradingView in my videos too. That's something I'm going to start doing, is using TradingView, because they have a little bit different indicators that I like to use. And they also have these really cool strategies that you could use as well that print buy and sell signals. One thing I love to look at is the OBV. On balance. All right, where are we at? So market closes at 7 o'clock. Market closes at 7 o'clock. So we will see an end of the price action at 7 o'clock. Or after hours, I should say. Closes at 7. See where we're at. Ape down 5% in after hours. AMC down 9%. Overextended on the Bollinger Bands. RSI is getting oversold. We're definitely going to get a bounce here soon. Like, that's just inevitable. We're way overextended to the downside. Way overextended. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts about the reverse split. Everything. Tell me how you feel about that. Tell me how you feel about Adam Aaron. Tell me what you want to see in the videos. Let me know. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. And I appreciate everybody sliding through, hanging out with me, chilling. I'm going to get going so I can make the update for tonight, get on the videos, get on the technical analysis, do a little bit more research, process the earnings call, make sure that I understand everything, and then put out the best video I can. That will be dropping later today, and hopefully see you guys there. But as always, I'm going to head out, and you know what it is. As always, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out.